Okay. You said you knew him already. What? Troy. So I think I heard from the viewers they already know you, so no introduction needed. Like you're worldwide, global, international. Um, Obama works. Oh, okay, with you all the time.
Well, I'll say this. They may know me because I grew up here. I moved to Austin when I was 15 years old. I went to LBJ High School, class of 86. I grew up in the 2-3, hung out at Dottie Jordan Park, Givens Park, Jam City. I'll say it again, Jam City. That's for the old heads. Tootsies, Phases. But more than anything, LBJ, class 86.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about what you're doing because you are well known for doing documentaries, but you do more than just capture what the essence of what people are doing. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
So can I be honest?
Yes.
Okay. So really, I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay.
Okay, because I've been an entrepreneur all my life. Run businesses since I got out of the Air Force back in 1995, and since I was 19, I've been either a husband or a father. Okay, and so now my last child, my youngest child, is getting ready to go off to college, and so my responsibilities or my availability is about to shift. Whereas before, I set up everything I did, whether it was home-based businesses, whether it was documentaries, the little traveling I did around my family, because I understand I work with a lot of celebrities, and the thing I see most is their kids don't really mess with them, besides the money. You know what I mean? They like the amenities, but their kids have not spent the quality time with them. Kids spell love, time, Time. And so I've spent a lot of time with my family over the last 10 years as they've grown up. And so right now it's like, it's a brand new. It's brand new. I'm about to remake myself.
Oh my gosh. Troy, that is so amazing because a lot of times we don't talk about that when you're in the industry and you're being pulled on and you were able to balance industry with family because your wife is an entrepreneur as well. Your son is an entrepreneur. So you're supporting everybody else's career in the house as well. And
Well, it's like this. So one of my passions is children. Is our children. And it's I know this 18 years you get with them is only a small amount of time. Where most people try to raise good children. My job, in my opinion, was to raise good humans because they're not going to be children forever. And so we, along with me and my wife, Tamara Nalls, we invested a lot into the kids. And I remember, man, like it was yesterday. My son was in 7th grade, and I had a project for ESPN in Miami. And I was supposed to be gone 3 days. I ended up being gone 10 days. On the 9th day, I got a call from my son's music teacher, and he said, "Hey, man, is everything all right at home?" And I was like, "What you mean?" He said, "Well, I pulled your son's been acting up in school. I pulled him out into the hallway and asked him what was going on, and he broke down crying and said, 'My dad's been gone for 2 weeks.'" And that was the last trip I took over 3 days. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to put your family first because you look at all these football coaches, their kids are committing suicide. You look at all these famous people, their kids are, what's emancipating themselves from them and frankly going crazy. And so I have something called the James Evans Project that I'm going to really start working on. And what that is healthy examples of black fathers. The media says we're not here. But there's been studies that say we're more connected with our kids than any other ethnic group. In fact, when I go to PTA meetings, I don't see any white fathers because that's what the mothers do. The fathers go out and work. Remember, Brady Bunch?
yes.
Dad would come home from work. You went in there and spoke to him. Then you got out of his way. And then mom and the maid handled the household. But that ain't how we do in our community. And so they'll tell you, 72% of fathers are not there. That's not true. Because the stats are being collected and they use marriage as the litmus test for whether someone's in the house or not. I mean, if someone's in the life or not. But you and I both know that there are people who are not married, but they co-parent their kids.
That's right.
Now, they might not get along, but the
Right,
father
but
is
they
still
still-
around, okay? And so the James Evans Project is named after, James Evans from Good Time. And to me, he was a great example of a father. He loved his family. His wife, pretty much ran the house, but when she pushed it too far, he said, "Florida, I mean it." You know what I'm saying? And he would pull back. You know, he hugged his kids. He might have to pull out the belt every once in a while. But, you know, James Evans was that father, as opposed to the other fathers, which were normally comedians. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things I'm going to be working on.
Okay, that is so awesome. How can people reach you and get a hold of you? Because I love what you're doing.
Well, on every social network, I'm at Troy Nalls. That's TroyNalls. Whether that's Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Snapchat, you know, all of them. All of them. I was early enough to get my name. I didn't have to put an underscore 127 or any of that thing. So
Awesome. And so people can reach you from social media. And then also, do you have anything coming up?
I have another project I'm working on called Saturday Business School. Um, you know, being a family man, being a businessman, the time is hard to get. But the best time to learn something, to read something, to attend the class was always Saturday morning because the kids slept in. And so when I do launch later on this year, what we'll do is we'll get together at 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday and for an hour and a half go over something that'll help a person grow their business. And let me just tell you this. I don't know if this interview is almost over. I'm going to give you one tip about entrepreneurship or why you should be pursuing a business. And me and a friend of mine, Darius Allen, are looking at writing a book called The Power of Cash Flow, okay? And when you set up a business that is throwing off cash, you can be more creative, okay? If you need every dime you're getting, you're in hustle mode. You're grinding. I think grinding is so detrimental because now you put yourself in position to go out and try to get money on something that may not be most beneficial to you or your time. But when you don't need every dime that you get, you can create. You can make mistakes. You don't have to focus. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder if I turn left and do this, what will happen? Because your bills are paid. Okay? And so stress and trying to make ends meet, that is the killer of businesses. That's a killer of imagination because now you have to do something because you have to do it. I owe is off the work I go. And so you got to work yourself out of position to needing a certain amount of money. Okay, so if you look at my shirt, it says 2014. I got a 2-year shirt on, right? I have a 10-year-old car. Well, I'm driving a 17-year-old car today, and I have an 11-year-old car at home. I don't buy new cars anymore. When I lived in Austin, I had a convertible BMW. I had a big BMW. When I lived in Dallas, I had a house on a golf course. I don't play golf because I was living the fake American dream, which was acquire things. Okay? And so everything you heard me talk about has been about families, been about friends. Me and you have been friends for probably 10 years. Your husband, you know, is one of my favorite guys, a barber, great barber here in Austin. You know, the best barbers live in Arlington, then they move to Austin. I'm telling you. And so it's not about the acquisition of things. In fact, I don't find value in a permanent address anymore now that my kids are grown. Because I have this and the internet, and I can go anywhere in the world and work. And so what I would encourage people is to want less things and live more life. And so keep your expenses low. I'm not saying miser. I'm not saying go live somewhere where you don't feel safe. I'm not saying drive something unsafe. I'm not saying catch the bus. That's different. That's a different struggle. Okay. And our people seem like they value that level of struggle. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't mind paying for convenience. But what I am saying is set your life up to where you don't have to go out and get a $100,000 job. You know, I'm going to tell you another one thing. When I built my first successful business, I was 26 years old. I was married with 2 children. And I made the decision to get out the Air Force. And I moved in with my parents. And I was ridiculed by everybody. And when I say everybody, even my own wife thought I was crazy. Her parents, everyone was talking to me, you crazy. I stayed with my parents for 3 years. I moved out of their home into a rental property they had and managed the rental property. And by the time I was 30, I had a business that was throwing off about $300,000 a year. Okay? We built a custom home. And more than that, we changed the economic outlook of the lives of our children. See, because what they grow up in, what they experience between 1 and 6 is what is their normal, okay? And so we took away that lack and that struggle. You know what I'm saying? And so our kids didn't think about poverty. They don't think in impoverished ways. And even when I talk to them now, sometimes I had to catch myself. 'Cause I say, man, when I was your age,
Right.
we was eating hot dogs.
Right.
And they was
Right.
like,
Right.
what's a hot dog?
Uh-huh.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right. Putting
We
food
was eating
together.
bologna sandwiches and sugar sandwiches. Where they don't have that struggle.
Uh-huh.
And so they can make decisions based on their database, which is not lack. You know what I'm saying? And so, like I said, in our community, what we do is we tell our kids, if you don't do it my way, you can get the F out. My way or the highway, and we kick them out before they're ready. I moved back in with my parents into a spare bedroom. We stacked our chips. We worked together as a family. We took shifts. We ran our businesses. We grew it. And then when it was our time to step out, that's what we did. And when you don't pay rent for 3 years in Austin, Texas, you can save some money. And you can make better decisions because you don't need the money. You know what I'm saying? People say, entrepreneurs like me will tell a person to quit your job, go with your passion. That's stupid. Because now you can't make it. Now you're making decisions. And I'll tell you, you ask people how they can find me. Really, I'm not taking on any new projects because I don't need any new projects. And I select projects because I don't need what a person brings to me. And I've been in situations where I'm working with celebrities and they'll start getting all fancy. It's like, you know what? Thank you. But I don't think this is the right deal. And you can only make that decision from a position of desire, not lack or need or grind. So.
Oh my gosh, I so love that. You guys, this is Troy Nalls. He is just amazing, as you could tell, right? So I'm so glad that you allowed our television team to come out and interview you today and get a glimpse of what you're doing now, what direction you're headed in. You have impacted a major industry. And so thank you for all you do. Thank you for being a family man. Thank you for pouring into other people's dreams and visions over the years. You've done so much and sacrificed so much. Because you are, I want to say a community supporter, but you go way beyond just supporting a community.
Just a regular dude from LBJ High
He gonna
School.
take the mic from me, y'all. Look.
Just a regular cat from LBJ High School. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that. And I receive
It's
that.
the truth, though.
But I'm just Troy Nalls.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just, and I attract the kind of people who you say I am, so you're the same. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. I love him and his wife, to be honest. They are amazing, amazing people. And you attract amazing people. You're around amazing people all the time. But just one more time, how can people hit you up on social media?
Troy Nalls. Every social network. Facebook. I'm on Facebook. Instagram. A little bit LinkedIn. Snapchat I'm just playing with. And I'm on Twitter. All of them at Troy Nalls.
Okay, thank you. This is Delonica L. McDonald with AFTV5, and you have tuned in live and caught news that you can use.